we have brought with us StarCraft 2. Oh my god, actual StarCraft, it's incredible. So, Fear versus Kelazhur. God, the one and the only. Round of 8 performance at WCS, a 5-game series, was what it took to knock him out from Nurture. Let's do this. To the bottom right hand side of the map, we are going to start with our Blue Protoss player, who unfortunately got a very tough group in WCS, in Group Stage 2. Actually, I'm just going to double check quickly what group he had, because I remember it was a very difficult group. I just can't quite remember. Did he actually play against Kelazhur in that group? He actually might have done. If I can actually get to the right page, because Wikipedia changed everything and made their own website awful. Group Stage 2. I'm almost sure Fear played against... No, he played against Bly. Right? I'm remembering now. No, he didn't. He played against TL Entry. Yes, that's it, right. So it wasn't a terrible at all. I got myself confused. Alright, anyways, Fear to the bottom right hand side is from Dead Pixels. Blue Cross player. And he's going up against the Red Terran in the upper left side of the map from OSC Root. It is Kelazhur. Woo! Kelazhur! God. Wahahaha. So setting up into this guy is TvP best of 3. And you can see from the get-go that Kelazhur ain't messing around. We're going to be seeing the factory being proxied. And it's just going to be lifted up into the main base in the very near future. So factory coming down over here, I mean, obviously it's just going to be pressure to try and pick Fear apart from the very early stages. So setting up towards that, we do see the warp gate starting to build on the Cybernetics core, so setting up into that. Seeing Adept is on the way out as well from Fear. And he has the factory. I mean, this is obviously the whole idea is to produce some Ritter Mines. And if you can start running those into the mineral line, then life can be difficult. As uh-oh, though, Fear's going to spot this. So he gets to see this early. Factory is sighted, and well, now he will start to do some damage to it. Ideally, he will position his mothership core so that he can pick off Widow Mines as they come out, or at least force them to burrow almost immediately, basically. As Fear will continue to work his way through this. And good damage. I mean, good pickup right away, just seeing this and able to start working his way through. We're actually going to see the Widow Mine. Oh, very narrowly tries to get by, and Overcharge is used to shut that down. But now there's no more Overcharge for the next Widow Mine. So obviously Fear will have to be a little bit more careful about it. And make sure he does target it down right away. Back at home, Kelazhur with Marine production going into the starport as well. Response from Fear is an immediate robo facility, and with that he's going to throw down the Twilight Council. Just set up into this and see where things will go. Mothership Core will not be able to pick up the Widow Mine because Kelazhur just cancels it here, lifts the factory, backs away. We'll probably just produce Widow Mines on the low ground, or you can just use it to scout. Going to make it look as though it's going to go home. Instead we'll land it in the natural. Again, just try and be annoying wherever possible. And Fear, good. Again, sighting this early is great for him, knowing that this is up, knowing that he was able to shut that down. Not getting Widow Mines in your natural or in your main base mineral line right from the start is fantastic. You're going to see again 2 more barracks being added on, then back from Kelazhur. He's just going to continue in towards what's a very standard play, just without the factory. Now, the factory is kind of interesting because obviously he's going to want factory production generally in this TvP. Like, you know, at some point you probably do want to see some factory production. We'll see if we do see it coming on through here. As we do see this medevac moving down to the south side. And we're just going to be seeing the Marines start to unload at the natural mineral line. Mothership core out of position a little bit and has been drained of energy. We do see it going off though, and well, still a couple of probes killed, and he will just sit here, Kelazhur, and continue to fight momentarily. Now he lifts up and pulls back in towards the main base. So, pulling back in towards the main. Prism is about halfway done here. Blink is about halfway done as well. Another overcharge to do just a little bit more damage to that medevac. Now he lifts up once more, boosts away up the right-hand side. And that will be the end of that for now. Blink is about halfway done now. So Blink about halfway done, and obviously, I mean, that's the very expected follow-up, and Fear will start to push across the map to apply some pressure, but Kelazhur is setting up nicely. A bunker at the front. He's got Marauder production rolling off of the double tech lab, which means he should be able to push those Stalkers back. Maybe he loses a couple of SCVs, but he should be very safe with this. The bunker really being key to making sure that these Blink Stalkers aren't able to do too much in the very early stages. In the meantime, Fear does throw down a third Nexus. As he throws down the third Nexus, we do just see more Stalkers warping in. Oh, he's just seconds away from delaying the bunker, which could have been pretty huge. Bunker taking a few more shots. Just get rid of a Marine or two at the front, but of course he has Blink, so you can jump up into the main base here, actually. And that could be problematic for Kelazhur, so here he goes, Stalkers into the main. That's going to be a combat shield kill. I mean, not the most important of upgrades between the two, but it's still a nice upgrade to get rid of. He gets rid of a Marauder as well. Could have probably got that Viking. He's already shift-clicking to blink out of there, though. Good pressure, you know? Combat shield denied, slows down the effectiveness of this bio. And still see just more bio from Kelazhur, gathering up towards the natural. A few SCVs pulling off the line, getting ready to surround that bunker. Fear just going to be seeing the opportunity to maybe move forwards and get a little bit more to himself. The bunker is getting to work already. More Marauders, more Marines. Just joining up at the front here. And again, you're going to see this Adept from Fear just pulling back in towards the center of the map. A Forge on the way at the front as well now from Fear, setting up into that. And I'm just going to be seeing Stimpack +1 on the way as well. Kelazhur still getting ready to go into this kind of bigger bio play. I mean, he's held off the first wave of this Blink Stalker, which is kind of all you have to do. Now you see a Warp Prism into the main. I mean, I like the Adepts in here, but obviously the Viking already being on top of it is a little bit of a shame from Fear's perspective, because now he's almost definitely going to lose the Prism. And he's only going to get 3, maybe 4 work kills if he's lucky. No, doesn't get that. And there indeed the Viking does pick up the kill. A nice cleanup. Factory, by the way, did come all the way back home, and so while he has been primarily on bio production up until now, alongside the Medivacs, he will be able to start up some Widow Mines, or just generally the sort of, you know, Widow Mine Liberator is very difficult to engage into. You want to get close to get rid of the Liberators quickly, but the Widow Mines are going to blow stuff up, so I'm just going to be seeing the Medivacs coming down the left-hand side. I'm looking to see if he can jump in towards this third base and do a little bit more. A few Marines, Marauders stemming down the right, does take that watchtower momentarily. No concussive shells yet. As combat shields is once again starting on up, and let's see if Fear can defend. He's very out of position on the third base. There is nothing but an intercept and 2 sentries. That's goodbye to those units. And those probes are, well, just going to be pulled into the fight as well. Now Stalkers try and fight, but suddenly 17 workers disappear, and Fear was just so out of position for this. He has nothing ready to go, no Colossi or anything. The Stalkers will blink back to trade. Nice lift to back away. He'll lose maybe 1 Medivac. No, not even. So he even keeps that alive while dropping into the main base. Now overcharges are used. Kelazhur, I think it's time to pick up in this corner. He'll stick around long enough to pick off that pylon. Now he'll lift. Now he'll leave. And again, just more damage being done. Fear all over the place trying to defend. Prism being caught. He's just distracted, which means it's another pick off from Kelazhur. Something else on this game, which just goes so right for our Terran player. And Kelazhur, well, I mean, actually, after all of that's said and done, he still ends up in not the best of positions, right? He's still down a couple of workers. His third CC is just building against a third base, which was saturated and now will begin to resaturate. And while he did, you know, shut down a lot over here, he didn't kill the Robo facility, which is the second Robo as well, by the way. So double Colossi production will start. Fear will get in towards the kind of macro strides he wants to be making to keep on progressing at the moment. As these couple of Marines do come down in towards the center of the map, going to take this watchtower. And just going to be, again, sat over to the right-hand side to see maybe what will happen next. 2 Adepts going to come over as well. Actually going to see 2 of them starting to shade on forwards. Sophia shading forwards here again. The Medivacs, 5 of them loading up, and, well, down the right-hand side of the map they will begin to go. Is this Adept going to see them? They are. Wow, 2 Adepts find the Doom Drop. And, well, you know what happens to that. You know, you spot the Doom Drop, you save the day, but you yourself are doomed. Sorry, Adepts, goodbye. And Kelazhur, well, he shuts those down nicely, but obviously if he wanted to actually really go through with this drop, the idea of it has been pretty much completely shut down. Actually, the main base would be such a great target to drop right now. Multiple pylons powering very, well, low number of pylons powering a whole bunch of gateways. Robo kill, Robo Bay potential kill. It's definitely there. What's dying to SCVs? A couple of it. No, what's killing the SCVs? A couple of Adepts in the back, it would seem. We do see the quick shot from the Stalkers doing a little bit of damage there. The Adepts trying to shade on through. Wooderman still just burrowed towards the front, and, well, +1 armor finishes now for Kelazhur. The upgrades are actually pretty even. Surprised we don't see the second Forge already from Fear. Chrono boosting out that +2. We've seen a lot of Protoss players playing the TvP or the PvT today with very fast double upgrades and going into, you know, they really kind of, one of the things they really kind of succeeded in was the fact that they were able to get up into 2-2 and all the rest of it as well. As there we go, Medevac's going to boost forwards. This time he will hit this drop from the main, but Stalker's on the way over to respond. They're blinking. I mean, this is a lot of bio. Kelazhur's not even paying attention enough to stim right now. Now he does start a stim. That one Colossus is not going to do enough against this, unfortunately. And well, in the end, the bio is going to get cleaned out, pushed away. Meanwhile, again, Prism play. Adepts in the main, natural, and all over the shop. As this War Prism is actually going to unsiege and kind of get out of transport mode, I guess we call it. And just continue on. Another Colossus here to the left side will be very important to help defend against this. And Kelazhur's taking some heavy damage as Fear continues to fight on this left-hand side. More Adepts warping in, and he will just lose the Colossus. But the Adepts on top of the bio should be able to keep on trading. The upgrades are even... actually enough bio, apparently. Meanwhile, Kelazhur is losing the fight to the right-hand side, though. Good cleanup by Fear. Pushes those units away from this drop. And altogether, Fear, again, maintaining pressure while dealing with the damage being dealt by Kelazhur. Very good play by Fear. This is the sort of play that's going to set him into a great position moving forward. The Warp Prism gets shut down, and he'll have to replace that yet again. But I don't think he can be upset with the way this has gone. He's done good damage. He did clean up the drops. Yes, he lost a unit here and a unit there, but overall, it has been very, very successful for our Protoss player. And fantastic play from Fear, honestly. Kelazhur's the player who a week or so ago at DreamHack Austin on the first day 2-0'd Neeb in the group stages. Just think about that a moment. 2-0'd the tournament winner in the group stages in this matchup. And now Fear is taking his, well, putting on the pressure against him, as we're going to be seeing this Flandry Fort is going to get taken down. But Fear loses a lot of army in the meantime. He has me singing praises about Fear, but now he starts to lose a fight. Meanwhile, Adepts in the mineral line once again. My worry is, especially as +2 armor finishes, can Fear actually survive an engagement? Because he doesn't have good upgrades. He's very far behind in that, and he's just lost a lot of army, a lot of tech. I am worried. I think this 4th base at least is going to go down. And so a lot of probes going to get taken down in return for what he just lost. Kelazhur has barely any income in comparison to his opponent, but Fear just doesn't have the time to build up enough units to fight against this Bioforce. You can see him pulling back now immediately, an overcharge coming down to try and fight this. There's so many Marauders. Vikings in the sky will be very effective against what is just a single Colossus at the moment. A blink to the right side trying to hit the Viking. As we're just going to be seeing the Stalkers, the Adepts, and the Colossus still to the right side. This Colossus over here moving back over to the left. A big blink forward right there, trying to get a bit more damage done. We're just going to be seeing the bio is continue to be worked away at. The Colossi on either side are dropping though, and again, it's the army supply of Fear that I think we've got to be concerned about right now. GG! Fear will tap out. Kelazhur takes game 1, but not as let's go into game number 2 of this series. Kelazhur did drag it out into his own favor in the end, but man, again, cannot be... Well, let's introduce him. To the top left-hand side, OSC Roots Kelazhur, being called DA God by his opponent from Dead Pixels. Fear to the bottom right-hand side of the map. So thank you very sorry. So yeah, it was nice to see Fear really kind of making Kelazhur work for his money. This time Kelazhur will proxy the racks, probably build the factory at home, and then probably build the starport back in on the map as well. So setting this up, barracks on the way down. Let's see how it goes. Adzi comes in with a fleet of carriers. Cheers 100 as well. Thank you very much, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the cheers, guys. As we let's talk about this then, because this is a proxy. This is going to heat up. If there's any more cheers from now, we're going to have to thank you after the game. As you do see, the refinery is finishing up here. A couple more SCVs just going to jump into that refinery on the right side of this base. And this lone probe from Fear just sharking on up towards the upper left side. Wants to scout, and obviously scouting was what saved him in game number 1 in the early stages against the proxy factory. It will give him an upper hand, and again a quick edge and a bit of an idea as to what's happening in game number 2 as well right here. There's DV from Kelazhur, still just chasing around the probe. Just, it's annoying, right? Because the probe is going to be able to nibble away at units building, SCVs building stuff. It's one of the things I hate the most about playing Terran. The fact that to play Terran, you have to have your SCV stay there while it builds stuff, and this happens. This is like the worst thing in the world. You don't understand how much I hate this happening. Oh, there's nothing more frustrating than an SCV under attack like that. We're going to see the first Reaper into the main base then. A Zealot has been made. Obviously will not kill this Reaper, but will force it to keep on moving. This Kelazhur just trying to pick up probes initially. Meanwhile, Starport will be getting ready to build to the far left side here, and he will proxy, depending what he sees and scouts, he'll probably change up what he decides to build here in the end, as we're going to be seeing the... Again, Reaper just trying to pick up another probe. He's gotten 3 kills so far. Not bad at all. Mothership Core still just on the way out. Oh, that last probe is so low. You can see he wants to go for it, but thinks twice about it and plays a bit more safely. The reason you build the factory at home is obviously in case there's a Stargate, just in case you need some defense at home. This factory with the Cyclone, and the Cyclone comes in at home basically, so you can defend and keep it at home. And if not, you can send it across the map to help out anyways as well. Another probe goes down to the Reapers. Reapers staying alive and getting out of here and moving to the side as the Racks will go home now. And again, so far no tech being placed, but as a Stargate comes down, the ideal situation now would be for Kelazhur to go in towards a Cloak Banshee. An Oracle comes out, hope it goes across the map. A Cloak Banshee would be much better than the Liberator, simply because of the fact that a Liberator is likely to just get shut down immediately by a Phoenix. If it was a Robo, then a Liberator can do a bit better because it's a little bit less of an investment than a Cloak Banshee, and there's going to be observers up, so it's less likely that the Banshee will do good damage. So just going to see the Cyclone and the Reapers coming up the high ground. Now he can start to fight a little bit more easily against this Adept initially. He's going to start targeting down this... I don't like that, targeting down the pylon. I think an Overcharge will kill the Cyclone, but he doesn't get it. Reaper's trying to hop back into the main. The Adept came up here to defend, though. In the meantime, Kelazhur does begin to build a command center on the natural expansion. A Void Ray from Fear. That is not detection, man. He's got absolutely nothing to detect this incoming Banshee. And the problem is, if he doesn't build an Oracle now, he's not just going to need 1 Oracle for Revelation. He's going to need 2. The reason being, the first Banshee is going to come in, boom, Revelation used, and then the second Banshee flies in, and he won't have any energy. So this is really, really bad for Fear. It kind of surprises me, honestly, and this isn't to kind of be BM to Fear or anything, but I feel as though we just see this sort of build order so much now. The Proxy Racks, then a Proxy Starport with Cloak Banshee. It really surprises me that we're still at the point where Protoss players just don't immediately build a Robo against this. It's really intrigues me. I guess the Void Ray is a way to kind of counteract a Liberator. Oracle is on the way, but supply blocked, and we sort of talked about the lack of energy. Could be a pretty huge deal here. Banshee is just waiting for the Cloak just to make sure it won't get shot down before it gets its full maximum potential. And as Cloak finishes up, we will see the Banshee moving in to the natural expansion. We'll not Cloak immediately. We'll wait until he's used... Oh no, he cancelled the Oracle. He goes full Void Ray. No, Fear. He played such a great game number 1, but the consistent pressure and differing builds here from Kelazhur in game 2 will just force the GG. That was so... You could just see that coming in, couldn't you?